Sapoops, Happy New Year! Everybody and their father, mother, sister, and brother have been going out making these Spotify rap, Instagram rap. You can even go and get a Shopee rap post to find out how much money you spend degenning on online shopping. And I thought I'd yap a bit about this whole year that's come and gone, and wow, I can't believe we're in the new inning right now. I think there were lots of things we could call negatives in 2025, but I think on a personal level, it was a really good year for me. And today on the new year, I figured that it would be nice to just go ahead and remember all of that. There were a lot of things in this year that made me just generally a happier and I think healthier person. Maybe let's take a rain check on the healthy part, cause I gained a ton of weight, but hey, at least I lost some during Christmas season. But yeah, a lot of things have happened in my life and my mind that have made me just generally a lot more joyful about the world that we're living in, even though it can be tough, chaotic, and it sometimes doesn't make sense. For one thing, I found a voice. Like, I can actually go up, sit in front of you with this camera right now and actually dare to say certain things. Not just for the sake of daring, but because those are my actual thoughts. That's actually how I feel. That's what I want to share with the world, because there are some things that I see that I know that if I don't say out, then nobody else in the world is going to say, and that's why I decide to say those things. Learning what I need to learn in order to talk, reading, understanding what the world is about, and just kind of like building a perspective on life. And if you want to call it yapping, then yes, please call it yapping. Having every single one of you out there decide to follow my work and share my perspectives, disagree with me, sometimes argue with me, that's been really valuable for me. Because what's happening every single time I make one of these videos is that I get a little bit better at thinking about the world that we're living in, which is really good practice for me to like see things a little bit further than I could have seen them before. And of course, your support, your encouragement, it's the kind of thing that makes me feel like maybe I should do more, I should understand better, I should go out there and see a little bit more beyond the shores than other people will try or dare to. And it's an honor for me to do that. And thank you all so much for your support in helping me grow and push forward as a human being. And another thing I'm happy about is that I'm moving a lot faster now. So it used to be that recording one of these videos and then editing and then making a thumbnail was like a very long multi-step process, but that's because I was slow. I didn't know the process, I didn't know how to actually do it in like the best possible way. But now, because I've kind of refined my craft and I know how to delegate things a lot better nowadays, it really helps with the time management, with actually being able to create these videos time and time again. So for me, it's nice to see that part of the process kind of get better, because it shows that I'm becoming more disciplined as a human being and becoming more structured, if you can call it. So I appreciate that, like that whole way that my mind, my routine, and my life is being shaped by this content creation thing. I think it's also nice that I made a bunch more friends this year, because frankly, I'm just generally not a sociable person. You might think, okay, well, how can you not be sociable and then interview Mahathir, KJ, and a whole bunch of other people like that? Well, I don't think there's a contradiction, because like being able to talk to people is a skill, but being sociable is like another thing altogether. But in 2025, I guess that started to change. Like, I've started to try to see people a lot more, to actually get out, start doing fitness classes, which have pretty much become like a big part of my routine nowadays. Because, well, there's something nice about suffering together. The nice upshot of this is also that I've started dating a bit more, like kind of going out, meeting more people, really just pursuing more of what I want in life. A partner, socializing, and just chilling in general. I think the dating part has been fun, like just going out, like sipping coffee and spending time together, not idolizing, idealizing, but just enjoying one another's company and seeing if maybe there's a direction that we can go in, that we might want to spend more time together and enjoy each other's company in a little bit more of an intimate setting here and there. So I'm still going out on these dates here and there, like meeting different people here and there, and I don't know where that's exactly gonna go just yet, but the hope is that we'll move towards something a bit deeper in time to come, and I'll find someone that I can spend my life, my time, and my energy with every single day of the year. I don't think there's a sort of happily ever after for people out there, but I think it's really been fun to get to know people and to just try to pursue that kind of deeply meaningful relationship, because I feel like even if it's not something that you do get, and it is something that I've personally struggled with for quite a while now, I think there's meaning in that pursuit and learning how to become a better partner, human being, person, and it feels to me that maybe part of that is kind of like mellowing me down a little bit right there, which is also a nice thing that I'm seeing in my personality. Speaking of pursuing things that I want, well, a couple things happened on that front. I mean, Ascendant Academy expanded, so we now have a Malay teacher in the form of Cikgu Aida. Even as we try and conduct even more SAT classes and maybe hopefully get some of you as students as well, learn how to scale and a whole bunch of other things like that, which are things that we're kind of like experimenting with as we chart out the course for the next year. Even as I kind of like refine all of these things and make them more into like process-based, system-based, get better at delegation and all that sort of stuff right there, which is all operational, it's all skill and stuff which you really just have to practice to make happen. But that aside, when I look back at 2025, it really just feels like a year when a lot of different flowers bloom, where I changed as a human and began to really find my feet and identity in this world beyond only just making money, which of course is always going to be a big part of things, and started really just vibing with the world, you know what I mean? I feel like 2025 was just a year of like trying a lot of new things, like the fitness classes, for example, like yoga, Les Mills dance, Les Mills Pilates, and all of the other stuff that I would just never have tried like at any point during my entire gym experience. I even ended up writing a book about Lee Kuan Yew, by the way, which of course some of you can purchase and some of you have purchased from the link down in the description right there. And I guess that's part of the general pattern where I've just explored things that I find interesting or meaningful to get better at in a lot more depth than before. So music, for example, did my very first performance, started really learning that skill a lot better, experimented, improvised, tried so many different songs and ideas I would have never tried before. And when I think back on it, it really feels like this year was just like a year of like refinement, strengthening, and like looking inside myself to see what was there and to really push those things forward just a little bit more than they ever had been. And I know that sounds maybe kind of weird for those of you who think that maybe I don't have a life outside of sitting in this room and then like talking to all of you right here. Although that really is a universe in and of itself. I think you might have seen that I travel like a fair bit. I've gone to like Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and a whole range of other places recently, including to Singapore for the Albatross File exhibition. So those were all for Mensa AMG events. I spent the new year even with Mensa members at the TRX countdown, and it was really good fun. Like, I'm not saying that just because Mensa is like some sort of like hyper elite exclusive organization or something like that. Like, no, it's a club where I just get to meet like a lot of random people I might never have met anywhere else.
And yes, that I know I'm deeply privileged to have found friends in.
I think this really was an amazing year in no uncertain terms. And as I kind of look to the next year and the years after, guess I hope I can become more mature of a person. But one other really big thing that I kind of want for this year is to learn how to just be kind. Like, not nice, but like kind, if that makes sense. I mean, I know that I criticize a lot of people on this channel, left, right, front, and center. I do it without abandon and everything. But honestly, even if the business model of social media is outrage, I really want to be able to find the space to actually be more accepting of a person, even as I make more meaningful critiques of the world. Because you can't just be going out there and shouting out at the ways that the universe has aggrieved you, when in reality, it's never as good or as bad as it seems. And if you actually look inside yourself, there might be a lot more to celebrate than you might actually know, think, or understand. And frankly, I think that's a big part that I need to learn to appreciate as well. That there's a lot more good that we can do, that I can do, by looking at things just in slightly different ways and adding my voice onto it. I can't say I found the way just yet, but it really is something that I want to progress in, even as I grow as a person, you know. But well, if you're still watching till this point, thank you so much for watching me for these entire past couple of years. I'm not a perfect content creator. I probably won't become a perfect content creator, but I hope I became a little bit better than I was last year. And if that's what you wanted to do as well, then I hope that you became better in the way that you want. How's your new year, by the way, and what kinds of resolutions do you have for 2026? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you again for watching, and I hope that you have a very blessed new year ahead. That's all to say about that, and bye.